Baby, baby. Listen, lock up your lovers or don't. Because today we are cracking open the new normal in relationships. And let's just say monogamy did not RSVP. Out of respect for freedom, out of respect for truth, out of respect for the group chat receipts. This episode is all about ethical non monogamy, honey. I'm your host, BeBe Zahara Benet, yes, and today we are going deep into the messy, magical, and sometimes misunderstood world of open relationships. Is it liberation? Some people ask. Is it chaos? Or is it just Tuesday in WeHo for those who have been there? So grab your favorite throuple, pour a glass of something strong, and buckle up because we're about to redefine love, boundaries, and respect, one entanglement at a time. Out of respect for BeBe babes, I want you to meet my Aminas. When you hear Aminas, I means my posse. And I want you to meet them because I cannot just do this without having my posse around. So let me introduce you my posse, my Aminas. They are comedian Correy B, ballroom legend Lolita Leopard, and my bestie, Diego Wyatt. Hi, boots. Hi, Aminos.
Hello there.
Honey, what is going on? Look, we are giving looks, honey.
Okay.
We are giving looks. I just have to.
Okay. Lay down.
Yeah, sleigh bells. It's all sleigh.
And please understand that my head is very much two-sided because if I give you this, I'm giving you shade.
Okay.
But if I give you this, bitch, you are serving. Hello? So we're either serving or we're shading. You choose.
I love this
So what-
reserve hat. Yes.
Right. What is the shade is when you just do all that?
Baby, when you can't see me, I am shading.
And then serving.
I cannot.
On the platter, baby. Put it up
That
there.
is hilarious.
I cannot. But guys, listen. I am so excited with who we have joining us today. And when we talk about an icon, when we talk about a trailblazer and a woman who doesn't come to play, we are talking about this diva. I like to say she is a drag legend, a Broadway darling, a recording artist, an activist, and baby, she is sweeter than her name, but never sugarcoats the truth. You've seen the doll on Traders, you've seen her on Pose, and you're probably watching her right now on Survival of the Thickest. And if you're not watching her, it means you have to go and watch her and download whatever streaming service that is. So please welcome to the pod, the one, the only, my CC, Miss Peppermint. Hi! Hey, sis!
Hi, can
Hey,
you hear me?
cutie.
Oh my gosh, I get jingle bells and everything.
Yes.
Sis, you look good.
What was
sis.
that? Was that your jewelry?
Girl, we call this
You
a
look good,
this is called a
honey.
sleigh bell.
Mm-hmm.
When you're giving, when you're serving.
Oh, honey, Santa's coming to town. Serve me, darling. I could take it. I'll take a sleigh bell, darling.
Sissy, how are you? How are you, mommy? How
Hi.
you doing? How you doing?
Girl, I'm so good. Congratulations.
Thank
I'm
you.
wonderful.
But sis, how long have we known each other though? Like how? Because I was just sitting here and I was thinking, I was like, we've known each other, and I can't even remember where we met each other. Like that's how crazy.
A long time.
It's been so long that, and not to really pull the age out there. I don't want to pull the age.
I don't remember when we met either.
I cannot, and I don't even know how we did it because it's
When
been
do you
so
think we
long.
met?
It's been so long because it was way before even Drag Race. Way before Drag Race. Of course, that's when I used
It
to
was
live
before
in,
Drag Race. It was
when
well.
I used to live in New York.
That's when you lived in New York. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, girl, it could have been any time between the 90s and the 2000. I mean, I've been here,
Not the
the whole
pause.
time. I was here when you lived here.
Not the
For
pause.
show.
Not the. Not you sticking it from the 90s. Not the pause. That was shady. The 90s. We're still spring chicken.
Sometime in the 90s on.
We're still spring chicken. But anywho says, I'm so excited to have you here. It's been like such a minute, and I'm just so happy that you're able to join us in this like beautiful, hopefully, educative conversation. So I just want to get into business, sis. I want to ask you, have you ever been in an open relationship? And did it feel like freedom to you?
How dare you?
I know you're gonna get. I know it's that kind of. I want to know if you have been in one, and if it was freedom to you, or it was like a full-time job. I want to know. Not the pause.
Girl, it was like a full-time job, darling.
Oh,
I mean, any relationship is like any romantic relationship definitely feels like a job, like a full-time job, right?
Mm-hmm. So why would you say it was a job, though? Like, sis, I want to understand.
I was.
No, I want to understand why did you think it was a full-time job? Like, what was it? Because I've never been in one, so I'm just kind of curious. I'm very curious to know.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I think the job portion for me came from I was dedicated, and I wanted my partner. I guess it just being Black and queer, being trans for sure. I've definitely been in those types of situationships where you not only do you feel like, but you know that you're not the priority, and so I wanted him, my partner, any of my partners. I always want if I'm going to be in something with a partner, I want them to feel like they're the priority. Like, why even be in this situation? And so I was in a relationship. It was a long distance relationship, but it was a long distance relationship that was that it was open. It was not exclusive. Well, I don't know what it was. The terminology changes, but like, he was my boyfriend, but since we lived on different continents, sometimes you have needs. And so, and this was in the height of when I was on Drag Race. So I was traveling international. I was in the UK and in Ireland every other month. You know what I mean? And so it was like the perfect distance, because I couldn't have no boyfriend in my home state who would be complaining, why you never here? Because I was always gone. So it was the perfect arrangement for me. We started in 2012, and we really got to know each other. Honey, we were Zooming every day, like on video chat. And I would come and see him. He would come and see me. So we visited each other, a couple times a year in person for like a week or two. So like we got our fill, and then we would see each other a lot. And even before Drag Race, I was one of the girlies that was very blessed to be able to travel before I did Drag Race. So like I was in UK every year, no matter what. And so I saw enough of him. And, but then I started dating here in New York, like a hookup turned into a dating person. And I started dating them here. And so I had two partners at the same time, but like he lived in Ireland, was like my king, you know what I mean? Like he was my primary, he was like my guy. And then the one here, we were just casually dating, and they knew that I was in a situation and I had a partner who lived overseas, and that was my primary, focus. So those were my two, and I had to kind of navigate around it,
So it was
a lot of work.
Yeah. And did they all know? Did they all know that you guys were like open, or was it something that
everybody? Yes. Everybody knew. Now I'll just say Simon, it's okay to say his name, was my guy the Irish guy who lived in Ireland. He knew. We said, okay, we're open, but we were not like, telling, I wasn't like we weren't having
broadcasting
three-way
it.
calls or anything. You know what I mean? It was just like he knew that I was dating, and that was what it was. You know.
Mm-hmm. I mean, have you guys been in any open? Have you guys had any of those experiences, or like what are your situations, Diego?
Oh, Diego, darling.
Not the silence,
darling. We're listening.
Not the silence, okay?
You know the tea. No,
The silence says more than the words, probably.
Right, that part, like
I've been in 2 open relationships. One when I was a kitten. I was 19, undergrad in Atlanta. Shout out to Atlanta. It was a little 1-2 in Atlanta, and it was just a fiasco because he was super jealous and he wanted it to be open. That was open from the beginning. My last relationship, we became open almost midway through our relationship. So it was a different dynamic. It started closed and then we opened it up, which I think adds all these different kind of elements to it and complications. And that's where you rely on kind of communication and trust and all those good things. That relationship ended not because we were open, but it just introduced a lot of other challenges to our relationship. So I agree with Pep. It's work. All relationships are work, but to really make an open relationship work is difficult because you also have a lot of people on the outside, if they know, judging all your decisions, what you're doing. They are. I mean, they're writing discourse threads on Twitter, right? They're writing threads about your whole life on Twitter and how you can't commit and all these. There's a lot of judgment that comes with it, so you feel that kind of pressure as well.
Wow, Lily, have you been?
You know, absolutely not. I have not
absolutely
been.
not.
Though,
Wait a minute.
I don't know. I just feel like me personally, I am just a one-track type of girl. Like all that open stuff. No, if you want to be open, baby, I'll switch these wigs and I'll be different girls.
Hey,
okay, that's as open as I'm gonna get. You know, so no, no open.
Yeah, and I feel you. I do try to have hair wig consistency. Like if this is how you see me, this is how. Because I'm a convince you. I'm gonna convince myself that this is my everyday. This is how. This is it. So like when I switch it up, it's. I want you to know that.
Tuesday, Keisha Wednesday. You know. Tiara on Thursday.
What about Josephine?
And Josephine on Friday.
Not Josephine on Friday. Josephine sounds like a Sunday girl.
Corey, have you been in one?
I mean, against open relationships, so I don't have anything against it. It's just not my thing.
Coco, have you been in one?
So I have been with my husband for 27 years, married, 25 children, 3 grandchildren, a dog, and a partridge in a pear tree. And the answer is yes. My husband and I.
With your okay.
My husband and I. Let me tell you something, baby. My husband and I are married, but neither one of us are blind. Okay? And because we have what is called consistent, open, and honest communication, it makes it easy to do and be whoever it is that we want. So my answer is absolutely. It's very selective, but it is. Because my thing is, why cheat when you can just ask?
That is
I'm telling you.
That's grown folks, though. You got to be grown to do that, and that is something that comes.
Grown.
Yeah, that comes from over time.
But let me ask this though. So why is it that so many, like Pep, why is it that so many people have this issue with open relationships though? Because when you think about it, like because they say what you do in your privacy or in your home or whatever works for you. But it just seems like so many people have this whole issue with open relationships, but we've seen that it's worked for some other people.
Because people nosy.
That's it?
They are.
Okay.
No, go ahead, Pat.
I mean, I think you're 100% right. I think we change. The times change, and so there was a point in time when, at least in the Western world, being married to one partner was like the status quo. That's what everybody had to strive for. And if you weren't, even just not being married was enough for people to be looking at you like something was wrong with you, like at one point. And obviously times have changed. We've become a little more modern. We might be swinging back to that pretty soon. Who knows? But now that there's less constrictions on people, like women having to be married and having to have a kid by having 2 kids by a certain time, blah 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 blah. Now that there's a less of those things, people can kind of be a little bit more free, and obviously with with women's lib and everything, with people being more sexually free, there's a lot more options, and people are able to talk about what they do in or outside of their relationship. And trust, these things have always been happening, but people just, I think, weren't talking about it. So I think it's more the way people are talking about it now, more openly now, forgive the pun, but talking about it more openly now than they were 30, 40 years ago, where, they all they were having like swinging parties back in the, in the suburbs in the 1940s and 50s, right? With trading your wife and with your key, and you just go to the key, the wife. But back then, the wife didn't have a choice. It's just like, oh, whoever has whoever the husband gave the key to, that's who's coming in to get the wife. And so, times are different now. But I do think that there is a big difference, between starting a relationship. Like when you're dating, you kind of date casually, and you can date multiple people at once, like, until you find somebody maybe that you really, really like, and then you get more serious. But I think it's easier to be open from the beginning as long as you set up some ground rules. I really do think opening up a relationship that was very exclusive and very monogamous could bring in some issues. In the queer world, and not even so much, but definitely in the queer world, especially with gay men that I've seen, that I've witnessed their relationships, whoever the new girl is gets the prize,
But
so that's troublesome, I think.
Yeah, but sis, is it like, do people like do it? And again, because I'm kind of like new to that world. I mean, I know friends who are actually in, for crying out loud, one of my besties was in one. Oh, Daddy, that's too many questions. Okay, but there was a lot of curiosity in it. But do people like, why is it that every time you hear of open relationships, you hear it being in a sexual way? I think it's also when it comes even like with the queer community, and you think about, oh, they say, oh, you're gay or you're whatever. It always has to go sexual. Like in the minds of those who do not understand it, it's always sexual. Why is the whole idea of an open relationship has to be like, oh, I just want to go out and just have intimacy with other people, instead of the fact that, hey, maybe some other person is fulfilling something else, or giving this, because there are so many different facets of who we have. And some people say one person doesn't fulfill all of that, what they need. Why does it always feel so sexual?
That's true. I mean, I do think that some people express that. Like, I've been on the dating apps and seen people say that I'm, ethically non-monogamous. I'm, married, but I'm on here for a little something, something. And my wife says it's okay for me to, when she's out of town, I can play or something like that. So in those situations, it clearly is sexual because sometimes on their profiles, they'll say as much. They'll say, I'm married, I'm happily married, I'm not looking for another like partner, but if I'm looking for a good time tonight. And so like in those situations, there are people that are like that are just looking for somebody to have sex with, an additional partner to have sex with. But there are certainly people who describe themselves and identify as polyamorous. And I think that's I don't think it's new to humankind, but I do think it is. Oh, whatever. My titty might fall out. Some people describe themselves as polyamorous.
Yeah.
And, that means that they can fall in love with more than one person. And those people, I think it is more than about just sex. I don't know. I haven't made up my mind yet on if I'm monogamous, because I am that kind of girl that really is very loyal. But I also, I haven't made up my mind yet. I don't know. It was difficult for me when I was in that situation before. It was a little different because one person was like in another country. If they were both in the same city, I'd be losing my mind. And right now I'm in a casual situation. That means that I should, and I have permission on, by everybody. Like, it's my life. I'm not married. I'm in a situation now that I could go with anybody I want. I could have a date with anybody I want, see anybody I want. I don't want to. Like, I've been in this situation. It's been a couple of years. Like, we've been in this very casual sexual relationship. And I'm kind of like, I'm good. I'm satisfied.
You know what,
I
Pat?
don't want to see anybody else.
Now let me explain it to you from this side. Being married or being monogamous is like, pick your absolute favorite song. It doesn't matter when it comes on. It doesn't matter where it is. This is your jam, and everything stops when this song come on. Baby, this is your jam, but it's the only song on your iPod. Ain't no remix. Ain't no extended version. Ain't nobody jumping in on it, giving a little sample. That's what it's like. And while it is your absolute favorite song, and every time you hear it, it just does something to you. Sometimes I just want I want Puffy to jump on a remix. Take that.
Maybe
take
not
that.
Puffy.
Well, you know. Well,
Jermaine Dupri.
He invented the remix.
I got you. That's a great way to describe it. It really is. I haven't heard it described
when
that
people
way.
ask me, that's how I just kind of describe it, because it's like, that's my song, that's my jam forever. But sometimes I want to see who gonna jump on the remix real quick. Now they getting back off. I'm going back to the song
because the remix is never as good.
Never.
Not usually.
Well, no, but it's all it serves its purpose.
Sometimes a remix is better.
Let me tell you something. The remix gonna always serve its purpose, okay?
You know that with the remix, they're always adding a little bit more sriracha. So
sometimes a little spice in there.
Yeah.
D, but do you find the same? Do you feel like the whole idea of like it being so sexual? Have you experienced that or no?
Yeah, well, I think that Pep brings up a lot of good points. I love how you describe that, Corey. Some people are in open relationships because their partner, the person who they love and find comfort, their home base, isn't interested in certain kinks or fetishes or fantasies that they're interested in, right? That's been my experience in the past too. They open up a relationship because they both understand, hey, this is something you need to be happy. So I'm giving you the freedom to do that. And I think that's totally fair and fine. I think it's often about sex, right? Because I don't know how many people, and maybe there are people out there, I don't know, let us know. If you're in an open relationship, you don't necessarily go out to just kiss people, or hold hands with people, or build or go on dates with other people. Because to me, that's more like poly. That's beyond an open relationship. Open relationships to me are kind of like, I'm going out here to do this one thing, but I'm always going to come back to you. That you're my kind of,
Really? I always thought that it was
arrangement.
I always thought it was a situation where if you wanted to go out or like, for example, if you go out and you meet another connection and there is a connection, that connection, you develop something with that connection other than just, I understand the sexual part of it, but just like, something deeper, more intimate with it, right? And then you bring that was my understanding. And then you have that conversation with your partner and then you bring that third person. Is that correct or not?
Poly.
That's more poly.
I think that's probably not most relationships, most open.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh.
No,
open basically means I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
And then you gotta wrap it up and go.
Yeah. Poly means poly doesn't even necessarily mean you're looking. Poly is just the status of how they identify and that they believe that they can love, like by definition, love more than one person at one time. And so I think when it's from what I've heard, for couples that are poly and are looking for another person, then they'll both agree. It's like they'll make an agreement to date outside and with the purpose of finding a third or fourth partner that is someone that they have that they actually date and they do different things with. It's not just sex, but that's like their girlfriend outside of their relationship. But that's different than opening the relationship, I think.
But do you feel like with open relationships, do you guys feel like it is a way of covering bad behavior? Like,
in some cases it is.
Why?
But pretty much that relationship was already doomed before they opened it. It was, for me, it was already, and some people will try to use that as a scapegoat, like, well, let's see if this will make it better. But if you needed to make it better, then it was already bad. Like, I don't need it to make mine better. Like I said, it's more so about the good time instead of the long time, the fantasy and the fun instead of, but if you have to do that, then you was already doomed. The relationship wasn't right anyway.
Oh, do you feel it's covering bad behavior?
I don't think it's covering bad behavior. I think, to be honest, I think there's cases in all directions here, but I feel like a lot of the folks I know in open relationships, they have very clear communication, whether or not one person gets jealous or something happens. I feel like the fact that you're in an open relationship, to me, is about having open communication and having your own rules of engagement, right? For each relationship, it looks different. For me, I might be okay with my partner doing all kinds of things with somebody else. I may not want to know anything, right? Some people, like Correy mentioned, Correy's very communicative. They have very clear, communication with her husband. That's their situation. Every relationship is different. But B, I'm curious because you're asking us all these questions. Knowing what you know now about open relationships, would you be open to getting in one? Because I know your business. I know your dating history. You wrote some songs about it. Let's really get into it.
Correy, Correy, Pep, really?
We want to know.
Listen, you know what's so interesting? Like, at first I really thought that I was a jealous person. Like, I thought, like, even even in relationships, I always felt like I'm such a jealous, because I feel like when I'm in a situation with someone, I give my all. You guys know that. Like, with someone, like, I just give my all. Like, I'm immersed and I am invested, like Pep was saying. But at the same time, I came and discovered that I'm not jealous of a person, because I really like experiencing different people. I'm not in that way, not even in a sexual way, but I just have so many amazing connections with different people. And because of that, it makes me wonder. I've never been in one, but I cannot say no, because I cannot just say no, because I don't know what the experience will look like until I have experienced it. So it will be very interesting. That's why I'm always very, like, eager to hear from those who have experienced what that looks like. So I'm not shutting the door, but I don't know. I don't know.
You're poly. Got it.
Bitch, not what?
You're poly. You heard it here first. Exclusive. BeBe's poly.
No, I didn't say.
You said you're open to. You're open to all.
No.
I said
no. I did not.
Lean into it, sister. Lean into it, sister pop. There's nothing wrong with that. We're not judging. We accept you here.
That's not what. That is not what I am saying. I am saying that as you navigate this thing called life and humanity, do you really want to just shut down every experience? It's a question I'm asking. Like, do you just shut everything down? Like, I don't know. And they say you don't know until you've tried it, right? So I'm not saying, I might say I'll never do it, and then all of a sudden I make a certain kind of connection. I'm like, oh my gosh, I find myself in this situation. So I cannot judge. I don't judge, and it'll be interesting to see what that is, if that experience ever happens or whatever. But I'm kind of curious, though. It's like, why is it that now, do you guys feel like when it comes to relationships, whether it's monogamy, open relationships, Pep, I'm kind of curious, do you feel like now it has come to stay, like that is the new thing, or is it just a trend? Because I know you talked about, like, many, many years ago, people were doing it, and now all of a sudden now it's out in the open, people are having conversations, like, for example, us. Do you feel like it's a trend, or do you think like it has come to stay, or do you feel like now this is going to be the thing? It's open relationships and not too much on monogamy?
I mean, if you'd asked me that question 6 months ago, my answer might be a little bit different, because I do think that where we are right now politically has an impact. Where we are right here, right now, politically, could impact where we go culturally. But the difference is as opposed to, I think culturally, I think, I know, I'm aware that like the religious community what came on really strong many, many, many decades ago, which really influenced what types of film and television and things like that, books and literature and shows and things that people could experience. And that in turn influenced or supported what people thought about their relationships themselves, what they were going to do. And I think the difference between a time like that and now, while we are in this rightward shift that's very traditional, and people are talking about like getting rid of honey, open marriage, they're getting rid of gay marriage, like they're trying to get, you know what I mean? And so even though we're in that situation, I do think that enough of us, I hope enough of us know and hopefully will remember what our lives were like 6 months ago, and that we had a different understanding of relationships and ultimately what we wanted for ourselves. I think a big part of these types of relationships is, what do you need for yourself? There was a moment in time where if there, maybe at any point in time, if you are someone who is expected to get married, expected to have children, expected not to have your own bank account, not to have a job, not to really have any education, and not to have your own money or any way to like travel on your own or make your own decisions, then you need to be in a marriage in order to just have a roof over your head, right? And so like if that's the way things continue to go, then it'll change how people think about open relationships as well. But if we stay where we are now, where women and everyone, have the ability to provide for themselves, and they can live life without the expectation of having to be a parent, having to have kids, and having to be like a partner to someone cooking at home. Not that that's all wives do, but I'm saying like if there's not that expectation of just
say my name next time you discuss.
No, I already know. You already set the example. It's true. But that's because we are a product of like modern times, right? Where we can have these types of relationships and still be married, but also have different components to our relationship. Whereas 40 years ago, that would be difficult to do, I think.
Yeah, I'm
socially,
stuck on 40 years ago. I'm stuck on the past. I don't know. For me personally, I like that, having that one partner that you can just be with, and I'm just his only, and I don't mind the cooking and the cleaning. I don't mind doing all that stuff, but it comes with a price, because I can only do that like during the winter time. But in the summertime,
we're gonna starve to death.
I'm working and stuff, so I'm in high demand. But when
darling,
winter and holidays, I love being the wife to stay at home, like, yes, honey, da da da. But
so then you really do want open. You do, because from April to October, baby, you belong to you for the streets.
I'm for the streets in the summertime when I'm working. The streets.
Summertime, man. It's some of her, some of mine. It's the summertime, man. Give you all of the time.
It's a hot Lolita summer.
I'm working. I'm busy, so it's like my partner, he has to have something to do, like, so we can both be busy.
Yeah.
I mean,
is there anything, Lolita?
Huh?
I was gonna say, is there anything, Lolita, that would convince you to be in an open relationship? Like anything, or even try it? Because I think it's worth trying for anybody.
I'm gonna be completely honest, because I kind of relate. No, not kind of. I do relate to you, Corey, because I was in a 17-year relationship with my ex at one point, and now I'm newly single. So it's like, that's all I knew. That's all I know. We've been together since high school. So me, like, in this new world of like dating and stuff, it's like, it's a whole nother ball game that's out here. And I'm just so confused as to, like, the new tricks of the trade. So I just personally, I do not see myself doing that, because I'm such a loyal, committed person to one person. Like, that's how I grew up. Like, that's all I know. So all this new stuff that's going on, like people wanting to like be in an open relationship, let's have threesomes, let's do this and let's do that. I'm just like,
so here's what I'll say to that. Number one, you write your own rules, okay?
Yeah.
You know, I'm not coming home from being off tour and it's somebody sitting in my living room or he gone. Like, you literally write your own rules. And I think what we keep forgetting, the biggest piece to all of this is social media. Bedrooms and houses have
Which is
doors.
new.
Yeah,
Bingo.
bedrooms and houses have doors for a reason. They close for a reason. The only reason why it's such a big to do and on TV and all of this is now because everybody makes everything public. Like Pep said, this ain't new. This ain't new,
Yep.
baby. We've been doing this since the 99 and the 2000s, okay?
Okay.
People are just now catching on to it, and now it's for profit. But people have been living like this forever. It's
Now they
social
got
media
apps
that's
just
driving.
for that.
Right.
You're right.
But because I feel
Yep.
like because people are more exposed to it, more
Yep.
people want to do it, and it's just like
Yeah.
the ratio is giving like 95 to 5%. 95 people want to be in open relationships, and 5% just want to just be with one person. So it's just like in a world like this, where do you fit in, or what do you do?
You
think
stand
so?
your ground, Lolita, because just because you don't see it doesn't mean that it's not there, baby. What people fail to realize is everything that comes with a title has a responsibility. So
That
even as a wife, my wife at title still has responsibilities. And you got a bunch of people that wants to just be able to be free, but still
right.
call the shots when it's time. And that's not the way that
Yeah.
it goes at all. And
I
that's why
think
we've been able to have that.
one of the things that people, I don't really know what people are thinking, but like just what I hear people expressing is a difference, especially from men, is a difference in what they're getting when it comes to a wife or a partner like that they're marrying,
Right.
as opposed to what they would have gotten. Everybody knows what they were getting 40, 50 years ago. They were getting a stay-at-home mom who would have your kids for you. She would put effort into looking like whatever she's supposed to look like with her makeup done all times. Like she wake up early before you to get her, put her face and her hair on. And she would raise your kids for you. She would, and then besides that, that's like publicly, like, this is my wife. Look what she does. She fits in with all the other wives. She doesn't stand out. She doesn't rock the boat. She does what a wife is supposed to do according to what my mom says she's supposed to do and what my dad says and what the people at the church say my wife's supposed to do. My wife does. So check. I got that. See, and that's my accomplishment. Like, that's what they think. And then the wife, I think, or the partner at home, but in this classic tradition, it was like a wife who would usually stay home. She would be also, and she still a lot of times is the psychologist to the husband or the partner. Also, like the mother to the actual partner, like mothering her husband. We hear like that's many women end up feeling like they're doing that a lot, or that men are actually subconsciously looking for that. And so that's like, they knew that that's what they would get. Basically, a sex slave isn't bad, but someone who's dedicated to having sex with just you, who would have your kids, make your food, clean your house, and they never left the house. That's who they got back in the day. And in exchange, you would give them a diamond ring and maybe buy them some roses every now and again. Well, and I'm not saying that's all that women would get out of this situation, but I'm saying like it seems like that's all the guys thought that they had to do, because they would go to work, pay the bills, and as long as they put food on the table that you have to cook, they could, honey, I'm working late again today. Sorry. You know what they were doing when they were working late again. And so that now that women don't need a man to have a roof over her head and she can have her own job and her own stuff, I think people are realizing the trade-off is different. And a lot of guys are saying, well, why even marry somebody if I could just, get on Tinder and get what I want every day of the week? Forget changing the wigs. They might want a different Judy and LaShonda and different person every day of the week,
It's
And
tricky out here, boy.
If none of them are going to cook for them.
It's so tricky.
Yeah.
And a Josephine. But
Josephine, honey.
And a Josephine. But as we get close to like even wrapping up, I'm kind of curious though, because I want to ask every single one of you, what would be maybe Pep, I'll start with you since you're our guest, husbands with the monsters, honey. I want to know, what is the one thing you want to stop happening when it relates to open relationships. Lolita, I know that you've heard about it. You probably haven't experienced it, but you probably have, you know what you need. But Queen, what is the one thing you want to have stop happening when it comes to open relationships? What's your not this, darling? What is it?
Not this. When it comes to open relationships, no more. I'm done with I'm done with the stigma and the resentment. Those are the two things that I think harm the relationship and end it potentially. The stigma both in and out. The stigma when, what Dee was basically talking about, like some people have certain kinks or certain things that interests, whatever it is that they are interested in. I would like for the couples to be able to explore those things together. And if one of the partners is not interested in that, then there is a way for them to still explore the idea of it and support the idea of it without them both actually having to engage in whatever it is. And so, for instance, which I see all the time, if for a cisgender heterosexual couple, if the male partner in the situation is interested in trans women, for instance, not feeling stigma and shame about wanting to see a trans woman, allowing that to feel like a normal thing that's just another type of woman. And if there's less shame around that and stigma, then it won't feel like he has to sneak around. You know what I mean? And then the resentment, understanding that for all parties involved, that the being able to communicate that, yes, we want an open relationship, but I think where some of the partners, at least what I've seen in movies, fall short is that they don't prioritize their partner, their primary partner. They're like they're so focused on like getting what they can get outside of the thing that they're not paying attention to every move I make. I need to check back and see what my primary partner. Oh, she's cute. Wait, how does that make you feel? Like you have to constantly check back, I think. And so those are the two things I think need to happen.
Oh, you better preach.
Okay.
You better preach, Pepe Lou. You...
Meanwhile, I'm single, bitch.
Period. That you're just speaking life into what you want for the future. That's it.
Yeah.
Manifest.
Well, I mean, is the life that she wants in the future saying that I want to be in an open situation? Because you don't know, Lolita. Maybe she's saying that right now I want to be close up to just one person. You don't know that.
This is true.
All right. I mean, I'm just saying.
I don't
know. Correy, what is yours? What is your not this, darling?
What the one thing that I want to stop happening is learn to close your mouth. We want to tell all of our business because we want shock value and I podcast and I'm the expert at, and it's like nobody cares that you like to be put in a chicken wing by your boyfriend. That is not our business. That's not our business. That is the issue. Learn how to be quiet because the quieter you are, and yes, I said chicken wing Pep, okay, because I can't, okay, never mind. But what I'm saying is, yeah, she still got it. Is that ain't everybody's business. Everybody wants to give shock value. Everybody wants, with podcasts now, everybody wants to be the expert and telling everybody what the standard is. When the truth of the matter is, the best moments are the ones that are never talked about. Before it was all public, everything was underground, everything was taboo. And if you happen to see so-and-so out in public, you never even acknowledge them. But later on, you'll see them and the party is the party. And we need to get back to learning how to be quiet. And then that way we can enjoy. That's why people was able to cheat for years and years and years, because we ain't had no social media. I can cheat with somebody because nobody knew about it. It was like, just learn how to be quiet. So that's my cry.
Mm-hmm. But Corey's not telling you that you should go cheat, honey. Okay? That's not a part. You're not telling the girls to go cheat. Okay? You're just saying
telling them not to either.
Please don't. Why cheat when you can ask? Don't cheat.
That part. D, what is your not this darling?
So mine connects back to something Pep mentioned about stigma. I would love for people to stop the respectability politics, and I'm specifically talking about folks in the queer community. There's all this discourse online. There's all those like insane Twitter threads of people going back and forth about, oh, and I love, Lolita, that you're respectfully like, you're like, this is not for me, but you're respectful about it. You're not judging other people's choices for their life or their relationships or love. But this whole respectability politics, I'm speaking again to the queer community, like, oh, this is not how gay men, and I've heard that before, you shouldn't present yourself like this. You're in an open relationship, you're making this community look bad. And it's like, mind your business, right? Like don't judge me for sinning differently than you, as Erica Badu always says. Don't judge me for sinning differently than you. You know what I mean? Like, let's mind our business. Let's have like consensual, loving relationships. And if we want to have poly relationships or open relationships, let people do what they want to do that makes them happy, as long as they're adults and it's consensual, right? What happens in people's relationships, even if they're open, there's so many different layers and levels to what open relationships look like and can look like. I know some folks who are in open relationships where the primary partners have no sexual contact at all, but they open their relationship because it works for them. Like, that's their business. Let them love the way they want to love. And honestly, a lot of people who are bitter about it are usually single. They can't get one person, and they're salty about it. And if you're mad about it, I'm talking about you. So that's my not this darling. And I said what I said.
Okay.
Another side. Lolita, what's yours? What is your not this darling, Lolita? I mean, I know you're not in one, but what is there any? I mean, but you've heard about the stories, you've heard of it, you probably have experiences with people who have experiences.
I mean, I really have to piggyback of what Corey said. Like, keep your mouth shut. Like, I don't know. I just feel like, visibility is one thing, but when you're like saying, like, it's like so many different podcasts, like you said, like just talking about it here, there, there, and there, you could really sway a person's mindset to be one thing, and then say, like, for instance, they're interested in doing it, and then when they get it done, they don't like it. So it's kind of like, I don't know, like, yeah, just keep your mouth shut, and just, your person is your person, your journey is your journey. Don't try to listen to what other people are doing and say, hey, I might want to do that. Like, just I guess follow your own instinct and your own gut, and what you like is what you like,
Yeah. I think like what I'm hearing from all this, from the conversation, or what I'm taking from the conversation, is the whole idea of that you should respect individuals, and you respect, their choices. And if it's not your choice, it doesn't mean that it's not another person's choice, and
Exactly.
we have to, if you respect me, I will respect you, and that's it. I think like if we can just do something as simple as that, a lot of the issues we're facing today, will not even be considered any issues. And I think like open relationships is just one of many, 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 many things, which comes down to like let's just respect each other, who we are. And if I show you love, and if I show you whatever that is, that's what I expect to receive in return, is that love and respect and acceptance. Pep, I am so happy and just humbled that you were able to, like, I know you are so busy, girl. We see all the amazing things that you're doing, and just the fact that you were able to just take that time and come and spend some time with us. We're starting this journey. We know you've been in this journey of podcasts. We know how it is, and so the fact that you came to grace us with your presence, to make it happen, I am just so humbled by it. And you're doing amazing stuff, amazing work. And I'm just sending you a lot of love, and I'm sending you a lot of light, and however we can support you in all the endeavors, because you're out there just championing it for the girls, honey, for us, honey. You're doing it. And I gotta get
for the dolls. Yes.
For the dolls. You're doing it for the dolls. Yeah. I just want to say thank you for coming here and being with us, and I cannot wait to see you very, very soon, sis. So, darlings, as
girl,
we close,
my pleasure.
And to all of you, my Aminas, you all look stunning. Yes, Loli, Corey, Diego, you all look so stunning. Thank you for being here. I'm going to say this, I just like to leave with something positive. So I'm going to say, as we close out today's conversation, I just want you to remember one thing. Respect is the cornerstone of every connection, whether it's love, friendship, or anything in between. Life is a delicate dance, and we all deserve to move through it with honesty, transparency, and boundaries that make us feel safe and seen. So let's go. You know what? Let's just go off the things that no longer serve you. Open your heart to what feels right, and most importantly, always, always respect yourself first. And remember, the best relationships are the ones that make you feel empowered, heard, and valued for exactly who you are. Special thanks to my amazing co hosts, our extra special guest, Pep, and all of you for listening. Let us know what you think about open relationships. Keep it real, keep it respectful, and I love you all. Bye, BeBe Babes. Out of respect for